pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Minutes, can we have the minutes of the previous meeting read?
The monthly board meeting was called to order at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, July 28, 2026, with a pledge to the flag. The following council members were in attendance: Tony Morris, Catherine Courier, and Jacob Atwood. Our town attorney, Tim Lannon, Jacob Jones, our town marshal, and Neil McKee, our water commissioner, were also in attendance. The meeting is set to stream online and can be viewed at www.townofbarestas.org. It was also live streamed on Facebook. The minutes of the last meeting were read. Tony Morris made a motion, seconded by Jacob Atwood, to approve the minutes. All approved. There was no fire report. Jacob Jones reported for the police. They have had a very busy month. Along with their regular duties, the officers have had several animal complaints, property checks, traffic stops, and 5 vehicle accidents and 1 medical call. There were 10 arrests. Jacob Jones advised the council that the ongoing animal control issue in town, that there is an ongoing animal control issue in town. There were a total of 37 living cats removed from the property and sent to Humane Fort Wayne. The Arestas Police Department will continue to provide resources and assistance necessary to ensure the safety and well-being of all the residents and animals in the town. Jacob continues to apply for many grants. He has applied for a $180,000 grant for equipment, for example, body cameras, radar systems, computers, etc. We should have a determination on the grant in the month of September. Jacob has applied for a $125,000 COPS grant. This grant will help with a marshal salary over the next 4 years. Jacob has received confirmation from ICE that $107,500 has been awarded. This money has to be spent on transportation and equipment. Jacob has done research on fully equipped police vehicles. He received a quote from John Jones Auto for 2 fully equipped 2026 Dodge Durangos. The slick top V8 Durango cost is $64,695, and the Mark V8 Durango is $65,189 for a total of $129,884. Jacob also talked to Statewide Auto. They can get 2 Ford Tauruses fully equipped for a comparable price as John Jones Auto, and delivery would take over 6 months. Jacob also checked with Andy Moore Auto, and they were not responsive to his inquiries. Jacob Jones suggested that with $107,500, we apply $102,500 to the vehicles and use the remaining $5,000 on the equipment. Jacob Atwood made a motion to approve the purchases of the 2 2026 Dodge Durangos and apply $102,500 towards the vehicles and the remaining $5,000 to be applied to the equipment. Kathy Courier seconded. All approved. Can you hit that like button on there? Just hit go live. I totally forgot about it. Just hit go live. That's
Sorry,
me.
Lex. No problem.
Jacob Jones has also applied for a Gary Sinise grant. If that grant is awarded, the plan is to pay for vest and body armor for the from RTS Tactical. He has a quote of $4,776 for 4 sets of body armor. Tony Morris made a motion to accept the quote if we are awarded the grant. Jacob Atwood seconded. All approved. Neil McKee reported for the water department. There are no issues with the drinking water. The water loss audit was submitted to IFA, and the water quality report has been posted by the deadline. Slice and Vadenbrink are still working on our wellhead protection plan that has to be updated every 5 years. Neil has all the documents and will submit them within the next 30 days. Neil reported that pump 1 at the main lift station is not working and possibly a seal. It could be a possibility that a seal is bad. He will contact American Pumper Service. Neil presented a quote from a utility supply company for upgrade for our meter reading program, Neptune 360, which will allow us the upgrade we need to read the meters. The current program we now is outdated and not supported. I'm sorry. It is on borrowed time. The quote given is $17,300, and that can be paid from ARPA money and water and wastewater. Tony Morris made a motion to purchase the upgrade. Jacob Atwood seconded. All approved. Jacob Atwood reported for the parks. He advised that the swing is replaced and fixed. He stated that the back weed sprayer is missing and that we need to purchase a new one. Jim Sakalas stated that he had one that he would donate to the town. Thank you, Jim. Jacob Atwood stated that there are some potholes that need to be filled on Oak Street west of town. Jacob has a mosquito sprayer up and running and will be spraying the town soon. Tim Lannon reported on the IURC. Tim has filed a testimony in June and with the Office of Consumer Practice. The testimony was not contested, but still has to go before the IURC in September. Tim talked to the attorney for consumer counselor to see if any other testimony is needed. They will advise. Tim and Jacob Jones are working on an ordinance to allow citizens to pay the clerk instead of going to court for ordinance violation. Examples would be animal control, unsafe building, and abandoned vehicles, etc. This does not include moving violations. There will be an ordinance presented at the town the next month or so. Red Gold reported that Fresh Pack is scheduled to start August 14th or 15th. Susan Lapierre, the director of Ambassadors for God's Creatures, was in attendance. She wanted to update the town on the animal control issue. She stated that trap neuter return is possible solution to animal control population. She stated Ambassadors for God Creatures could possibly come to Arrestus and do a mobile vaccine and ship clinic. She left resource packets for the citizens. Sherry Pack mentioned that the mail delivery in town is an issue. She asked if there was any way to improve delivery as it takes days or sometimes months to receive packages. Tim suggesting contacting Representative Victoria Swords. Resolution 1026 to 1226 were presented to the council. These resolutions are appropriation reduction. The town fund claims 7-1 through 725 and water and wastewater claims 7-1 through 714 were presented to the council. Tony Morris made a motion to approve the claims. Kathy Courier seconded, all approved. Tony Morris made a motion to adjourn at 8:12. Kathy Courier seconded. The next regular scheduled meeting will be August 25th, 2026. Respectfully submitted.
No objection. I make a motion. We approve the minutes as read.
I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, reports. No fire report. However, I went to Alexandria. They have a new ladder truck, and that ladder truck cost the citizens of Alexandria zero. Alexandria had a rescue truck that they were having a difficult time keeping it in service and functioning with it, and they were able to trade that rescue truck for a ladder truck, which they believe will better serve the town of Alexandria and then obviously Erastus. They also received 2 brand new ambulances, which, you know, if we're going to have 10 things come to our town, most months 10 things are the ambulance. So that they've upgraded in that manner, pretty impressive. It's going to serve our town well. So I know that from them. They did have some issues with flooding, and I think for the most part, our part of the county came out pretty good. We had a couple of things here in town. There was water in my backyard. I don't understand that. Police report.
Another total of 87 calls entered in the CAD last month from July 27th to today, including the 8 traffic stops I made, or from the 5 citations that I wrote. Those calls included one animal complaint, 3 medical calls, 26 property checks, 27 traffic stops, 9 trouble calls. Other call types were weather-related calls, road hazards, alarms, and then the shots fired to the semi incident. It's still under investigation. Close to the end of that. So a total of 12 arrests for that time period. Charges include resisting law enforcement, misdemeanor, felony warrants, mostly federal immigration related charges. We have received the $107,500 stipend that we were waiting for. That money's hit the bank. The cars and vests have been ordered. Cars are currently being outfitted. Hopefully we'll see those in October. The vests, they gave us a deal. Since we allotted for the 5,000, they threw in an extra vest and some plates. Gave us almost $900 off and a 10% discount on that. So that was right at the thousand. So they worked with us there. We've received the new patches and the process of implementing them on the uniforms all pass around. Turned out pretty good. It's from a company I've never used before. Did pretty well. So September 1st begins the new federal quarter for our ICE partnership. Each quarter, though they run out of money, we will get $15,000 quarterly from them as a stipend. 7,500 is for IT related expenses. So if we need new computers, pay our internet bills, credit points, we can pay for that with the IT stuff. And then the other 7,500 is any type of equipment. You can use that for fuel, oil changes, things like that. And then everything is finally in order with the new phone and internet accounts. We're paying around $238 a month, which saves us about $450 a month. That was kind of a longer process than what I had originally anticipated, but that's all. I think we paid our last full bill, and then the next one on the old account will be like $20, maybe into one. So, and then Kathy, one thing I didn't put down was the credit points that we purchased. So did you?
Just got a bill today.
Did you? Okay.
It's be about $40 cheaper. So, and we got 2 other Cradle points.
So we had to go ahead and order the Cradle points, the 2 Cradle points for the new cars, which that's just the mobile internet in the cars. We have to get those ahead of time because I have to take them down to IT program, and then I ship them to the upfitter. They run all the wiring and stuff in there while they've got the floorboards tore up. So once we get those cars back, we'll just cancel the other 2. We'll still pay the same amount, but we did have to purchase those 2 Cradle points, which even with the was for the 2 Cradle points.
One's probably the bill right there. I don't
New ones or the
Yeah, two new ones. Yeah, so the ones that we have in the cars are currently so outdated that they don't update those anymore. So we were forced to either go with the cheaper version, which is technically not a credit point. It's basically a home router that they plug in for car use, which we have issues with internet. Yes, it is in town. So
I think we are slowly learning that sometimes when we got a deal, we got a deal.
Yeah, they gave us a based on one free for these.
Well, what I mean is some of our deals in the past were turned out where we end up paying later. I still remember getting the tasers, get the taser thing, and then the next meeting we got a bill for $800 for the inserts, which were the main part. So somebody give us the outside. Oh, we got a deal on that.
Shouldn't be any surprises there. I mean, the credit points, I didn't originally know that we had to actually purchase them, but so when we do, and we say if we sell a vehicle, we can just transfer it from one car to another and be done with it. But we got those taken care of.
I have a question for you, and it says here that you've ordered this, and they should be in the next couple of weeks. How much? I know you were talking about all the deals that they did for us. What is it actually going to cost us out of pocket?
5,000. Allotted. I think the last meeting we allotted 5,000 of that 175.
Yeah.
Okay.
Told them that.
So they stayed within the 5,000. Okay, good.
So if now they said just wait and make sure that everything's within this, and then if we're happy, we have 60 days to pay them from there. So
good.
Should get those soon.
Thank you very much.
Water and wastewater. The only thing, Neil's not here. The only thing I know is we had a problem at the lift station, and I don't think anybody in town experienced the problem with the lift station except for Red Gold. And their restrooms in Warehouse 12, which is the warehouse across the street, are lower than anything in town. So they were squeegeeing stuff until we were able to we had to get new floats. They were like $1,200 worth. And one of the pumps had some things in it like earplugs and hairnets, which I don't know why you would flush hairnets or earplugs, but apparently somebody did. But now everything's working well, and I hope that that warehouse is in better shape now. It probably smells better.
Caused by flooding.
No, you know, you just get extra water.
Remember last month that he said that one of the pumps wasn't working, but pump two was working? Well, the pump two failed too, so.
We were having to go down and run it in manual for a little bit and then put it back because you can't just run it in manual forever. So we would do it for, I think your dad said like a half an hour. And then it would only go down like 4 inches and it's going to fill up again pretty quick.
The reason I'm asking is the EMA was asking if we had any damage up here, like if they could send a FEMA to get paid for it. I don't.
I don't think, I don't know if
See
the
here,
head go bid if
wind
we
damage
claim
around
that
here,
money.
there wasn't any flooding.
That's all I know about water and wastewater. Parks and streets.
Sprayed 4 or 5 times last month. The parks are looking good.
We still just need to get the hole patch to fill in the down there and down there.
Yeah,
Did you get the backpack sprayer from Jim?
I have not. But I have
There's
his
going to be a
number, so
trade-off.
I'll call him when I leave here.
Okay.
Old business. Lodge grant update. The only thing that'd be interesting because sometimes you use one thing to kind of help yourself in another. So we had representatives from Victoria Spires office. We had representatives from both senators, Senator Young and Senator Banks. They were here for the presentation of the award. They, you know, they like to get their picture in the paper. So if you wonder who those other people were, and most of them were those kind of people, were USDA people. So we're very appreciative of the grant. But while they were here, I was kind of telling them that, you know, we haven't got any mail in 5 days. And I've been talking to our post person went to work full time in Anderson, so we have 2 subs, and one of them is very well aware of issues they've been having in Indianapolis. When they opened up a new plant, and initially they were having all sorts of problems with packages. Well, now it's filtered down to the mail, and he said sometimes here in town they may get mail like a batch of mail for Crawfordsville. Makes no sense. Zip codes aren't close or whatever. So anyway, I kind of bent their ear when they were here, and they were busy writing it down, and just coincided with in Washington D.C. that week they were grilling the postmaster. And so hopefully it still seems like to me like it's a little better now. At least we're getting some mail. But and I like the way they're doing it.
Yes.
Yes. For those of you who may not have seen it, we have a picture of the current situation, the proposed, what it will look like when we're done, and what it looked like. I don't know what year that might have been. That's you can tell. Normally, you can tell by the cars.
It was built in 1899. That's when it was built,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's.
But we'll pass that around. And again, the goal is maybe those little possible storefronts down front, down on the bottom. We would love to get something in there, even if it's somebody with milk and bread and stuff like that, and maybe fountain Coke, not Pepsi, Coke. So the update we have is they were able to, by using a drone, they were able to tell how many layers of roof we had on top of that building. And did they say 5 layers? So that's going to cost a little bit more than anticipated to get all that off, but still well within what we have in our budget for that. I don't know.
Do what? Say that again? What was the targeted time to start it? They've already started it, but it just takes time for like the pin checking and stuff like that. So they're all.
I don't know if there's 5 layers up there. I've been up
I
there.
have a picture. You need to look at it and you can check it. You can check.
It's
it.
where it's around where you got the hole, you know, to go down. So anyway, they'll,
So it's, yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
in the end, it's going to be,
If it's around the hole, then they flashed around it, and it could have different layers of flashing. But I don't think there's 5 layers of roof up there.
you haven't been up there that many times.
Yeah.
Been up there.
I'll show you. I'll show you what they look.
I have a
Um,
question about the lodge. What about the building next door?
Building next door does not belong to the town. It belongs to a man named Owsley. And we need to maybe contact him, tell him his building is in disrepair, and we're going to have all this work done. And perhaps he would like to give that to the town. We'll have it demolished.
I sent him that letter a long time ago.
Maybe we can follow up.
But I'm not returning.
Give me a copy. Did you get this in?
Well, I had you approve it, but I don't know if I gave, I'll get you.
Give me a copy. Which house is it?
But, can't remember.
Yeah.
No, not Susan and
Susan and John.
maybe John, yeah. Susan Alvin.
What I've heard is the man has had a stroke. And so that's why he had plans for it. He had a stroke. Nothing's happened since then. So, we would,
Okay.
Take a look.
that Owsley that owns the,
Oh.
so, anyway, that's kind of what's going on with that. If you've been down Superior Street at the railroad tracks, it looks like they're about ready to close up shop and have their cross arms in place. That'll be nice. I don't know if it would have prevented the young man from getting killed, but at least it would have helped. Yeah, because he would have had to knock the arms down to get onto the track to get hit.
I think it would prevent it.
But,
But that was free to us.
yeah, it was just on their radar for a while. You know, for me personally, I'd like to see them everywhere in every crossing. So I knew a guy in Alexandria that he lived off Broadway, and when you go across Broadway to go towards town, there's that railroad track, and it took his back bumper off his truck. That's how close it was. Anyway, I'm very appreciative of that. No cost to the town. That's the stuff we like. We were able to obtain a few new items for, we got a new cabinet over here. When you know people that acquire things like from banks that close and stuff like that, sometimes they put you on to stuff that might become a little better. We would like to get 4 new chairs so it looked like we're presidential or something like that instead of these chairs. We want certain colors. We want them to be cherry like everything else. And, new business. We had at one time the allotment for reserves in the town of Arestas was 17. Starting shortly after that, the discussions became 17 is too many. There were concerns with, I think even Tim had concerns legally that if you have 17, the chance of one of them doing something to put the town legally in jeopardy is greater than when you don't have that many. The number we have played with, I think, as a council, has been 8, no more than 8. So what I would like to do is propose that we change our ordinance to reflect that we want no more than 8 police people. That doesn't include the animal control guy because I don't consider him a police person. We have advertised that we think in the rebuilding of our department that apparently had closed at one time, or according to one person. We are at the stage now where we think we're able to take on people, but we want that in Jacob's mind and in our minds. I think we want it to be quality people, not just somebody that I want to go and sit outside the Tasty Freeze and be their watchman or something like that. It is posted that we're accepting applications. I don't know how many you've got so far.
6, I believe.
And then once he goes through those and decides if somebody's worth interviewing, we'll set that process up. And there is, I think, one person interested that was with our department before that left. And now I think he's the head of East Madison's ambulance service or something.
It's chief.
So, we were sad when he left because I thought he was a quality guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see how that turns out. But what I'd like to do is propose that we change this.
Yeah.
I just typed it up, but I wanted you to look at it. We don't have to pass it tonight.
Tim, if we wanted to create some type of interview board, is that just I do that via my policy, or does that have to be an actual ordinance?
You can do it by, just, yeah. Formally.
We have 6 officers? I thought we had 4.
We have 4. He has 6 applications.
Oh, 6 applications. Oh,
You mentioned the front ordinances in here.
Yeah. I feel like you.
Yeah, see, it's there you go if you want to consider it tonight. If you do, it's an ordinance call for, usually 3 readings with the suspension of rules to allow for the last reading. Motion and seconds. And a vote.
There,
The chief, or is the chief part of the eight?
it's the chief's part of the 8 unless we designate it different.
Do you think?
Have thoughts on that? It's an ordinance amending ordinance 1491 dash. It's ordinance 1496 establishing the use of police reserves in the town of Orestes to decrease the number of such reserves. And the number would then be 8.
And this will be ordinance 226.
It would be ordinance 226. What say ye? I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
okay.
Not
We're
passed.
signing
No,
more, or we signing other?
not yet. Yeah, hey, you'll need us to approve it 2 more times with the suspension of the rules. So you need another motion to approve ordinance 2-26 on second reading.
It's what he said. An ordinance amending the 1496 establishing the use of police reserve in the town of Orestes to decrease the number of such reserves. I need a motion on a second reading.
Second.
Favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now I can make a motion that we should suspend the rules and have a third reading on ordinance 2-26, establishing the number of policemen in the town of Orestes at 8.
Second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now we can do it.
Now give it third reading. You suspend the rule, but you need to give it one
Okay,
more
the third reading,
A second.
the second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Now we're done.
I know that's ordinance 2.
The hiring board,
Only board to sign.
you're more than one council for.
Yeah, if you're gonna have a council member, one, 2. If you want to get rid. Would they be just for the purpose of recommending back to the council then the reserves to be funded? Because we've always brought reserves approved by the board.
Mhm.
By the
I
council.
still agree with folks to hire them, but they've never.
That became very difficult. You were trying to grasp at straws and you were relying on what folks were saying as gospel. So sometimes that's a little tough. I have another ordinance. This is ordinance 1-26. This is an ordinance amending ordinance 3-25, establishing salaries, wages, and compensations for the officer employees of the town of Orestes for the year 2026. That's not new. We have to amend it. What we found out from the State Board of Accounts is that we were improperly taking money from one bucket to pay the town marshal, and we can no longer do that. So we need to switch where it's coming from. That the section, it's section 4, that's the important part. It says that the town marshal of the town of Orestes shall receive as compensation for services on behalf of the town for the year 2026, sum of not more than $32,472.96 to be paid in bi-monthly installments. Here's the important part, from the following fund: the general fund, $20,295.60, and public safety fund, $12,177.36.
It should be monthly. I'm sorry. That should be monthly.
Not 20,000
I was
monthly.
gonna say bi-monthly.
It's monthly. He is paid monthly, not twice. That was what they were.
That was
Yeah,
there.
we scratched the monthly, the five part.
Strike the buy,
Yeah,
this is
strike the buy,
monthly,
yeah.
monthly installments, okay.
Well, the reason we're even bringing this up is we need to change where it comes from. We can't
Stayed
bring,
the same.
it's the same pay, it's just where it came from. So I make a
And that's been
motion,
that way since 2020, but
we just found
Didn't
out
catch
this year, so we said we were sorry. So,
You
So-
need the same.
Same deal. I make a motion, we, pass ordinance 1-26 on a first reading. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I make a motion that we, pass ordinance 126 on a second reading.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And I'd like to make a motion, we suspend the rules so that we can have a third reading.
Mhm.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now I make a motion on the third reading that we pass ordinance 1-26. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yeah,
Are you gonna use this one even though we've crossed out the bi-monthly and use monthly? Okay.
I can do that, can
Just make a note in the minutes that.
Yeah.
Bias
I? Okay.
by consent of the council stricken from it.
So, yeah. Minutes.
yeah, we have received, for folks that think stuff is free, we received a bill from Hazmat for the work that they did for us. At, what is the address number?
46 East Oak Street.
At 46 East Oak Street. And that bill is for $1,092, which we have paid. But now we are gonna send this bill on to him. And, I believe that as the same way as we do with people that are late on their water bill and don't wanna pay, we will take payments from him if he will reach an agreement with us. If not, then we will go get the money from him. Through our guy over here, our strong arm guy. Nick,
We're gonna do the late fees if he doesn't, I mean, do we already have it set up?
no, we haven't got anything set up with him. He doesn't know about this. It's gonna be a surprise to him. He'll probably be on Facebook, but, it was his problem. He caused the problem. So he owes the town $1,092. We will try to work a deal with him. If that's not possible, then we will take legal action to get the $1,092.
That this way, we call for ambulance all the time for people. We receive this for us, so this is kind of shock. Receives this. We agree as the taxpayer shouldn't be fitting the bill for that, so.
It's probably the reason that we don't get a bill for the police or for the fire department and ambulance is because we're under contract with them, right? I don't know about hazmat and all that.
Well, not necessarily, because we could be outside of, I mean, if I went on a crash in Elwood and I called for the fire department, Elwood Fire Department showed up. I can't, no, so. They still confused, I did reach out to the hazmat on why we received the bill.
Yeah.
We'll go through something that there is a contract in place with all the departments in the county that we.
Mine is like, we don't know anything about it.
I don't have some.
So, hopefully we'll get it worked out. But again, there are those issues.
They told me first time we called about that they would be sending him the bill to go into restitution for that. I still think that that's probably what should have happened. We should not have gotten the bill at all. But
I think they had a mistake because they actually sent me two different bills for two different people. So I think they might not, I think they might have been confused.
You gotta reach out to them, chief.
yeah,
That's right. After the meeting, they'll say, oh, yeah, you're right. Contact. Just send it, send it there.
I just saw the email because I'm just getting access to their email where they sent the bill to me. So with the guy's email.
At least you'll get an explanation too.
Let's go back. That's for the future. I'd like to.
Yeah.
That I would feel.
If not, we are gonna send him a selection of those.
But it's just actually,
Okay.
To those other restitution things that need to go. So the time of transporting animals, things like that, so. It's a pretty big break, if not.
I mean, the animals had to go to Fort Wayne, so it could be a larger, much larger expense for him.
We need to make a motion to,
I don't think so.
No, just.
so Jake's gonna reach out to Hazmat. If they don't refund us the money, we're gonna get a collection letter. Can you help me with that? Okay.
We're at the point where we're going to open discussion for items not on the agenda. I see Red Gold's here. Your fresh pack has started. For some reason, I've noticed more activity with trucks with tomatoes in the back of them. I don't know if you guys are using them or what. We do have some concerns from some citizens. We had one of the board members follow a tomato truck into town, and she was going 37 and couldn't
I
keep up with it.
catch up with him.
The speed limit in town's 20. Yeah, you were driving 40.
You were driving a Ford, that's why.
I couldn't catch up.
So, I reached out to Greg to let the word get out down there that we're, it's not going to keep up. It's not okay. There are schools started. There's still kids out riding their bicycles and stuff like that. And I know these guys have a job to do, but I think they would rather be on the road doing their job than being in jail. We stopped a guy today that was kind of a jerk and mad because he was getting ticketed, and he talked himself into 2 tickets instead of 1. So he was speeding through town and he didn't stop at the stop sign. So
Innocent.
well, that's not okay. It's never going to be okay. I worked there 25 years. I saw some of those guys several times during a day. So I don't know how many hours they're allowed to be on the road, but pretty soon it could get ugly. If there's ever an accident in town, it's going to be a problem. So those people need to be aware. And if we get more reserves, we'll be able to write more tickets.
Well, I appreciate that totally, and I apologize, guys, that I'm sick and I'm just started with that. Definitely, I've already reached out to the animal department. She's coming through doing with a lot of fun. Trucks. Logistics for the inside.
Trying.
Not a long way, and I think to a point, especially if I'm there. From the plane, trying to check in. Still see a few of them. Jane, if you see something you want to take it, no questions asked. It's hard to see come along a lot personally. I've almost hit somebody and I will never forgive myself. Couldn't see around the semi. Exactly. So, seemed absolutely well dressed. Appreciate that.
And honestly, it was coming from the transition of State Road 28 down into the 20-mile-an-hour zone, but he was in the 20-mile-an-hour zone when he was pulling away from me. 37. No. I would not have said a thing if it was north of that.
So much active. Yeah.
That
See somebody get. See why she be. See. I'm trying out we got. It's been a little different. This is the most rain I've ever seen.
Yeah.
When I say this, not just from a record standpoint. It just tells you for roads and stuff. It was supposed to start the 16th, which we did. And then really what happens? We're down today. Then we're starting right back up the next day. We were down for like almost 3 days after the very first draw run thing. Because they just we had 11 inches dropping. Delaware County had it 14 inches. So on that Monday, we were really lucky. For some reason, the Lafayette, the tomato gods were shining. Some guys, some brothers that rain fields. And started, and now as you said, we're starting to pick up everything. So hopefully, what they shared with us too, I asked that, the abundant amount of mud that's coming in on these trucks and trailers. I shared a picture with them, bring it, one of my growers, the local growers, tried to, literally was in his tractor, was like, a little tractor harvester, was sunk halfway through the back. The small harvester go to a whole other state and field with her. No, it's good, so hopefully, things will roll with that. I'll definitely contribute this. And try to think that you can move my conversations, you're coming in, and things. Everybody needs to read the stuff. The school I started again, and I, it's traffic, people. There's a concern, if I'm off the hill, on the bridge, that's what people like all of a sudden, I'm out of here for them. And I've got those young kids that are gonna get off the school bus and stuff like that.
Yeah, right there.
I'm saying, so.
It used to be a lot narrow, that road has been widened out. It used to be a lot more narrow than it is now.
Fully appreciate it now, appreciate all of the students. Get things addressed.
I think the town has made several improvements lately. And sometimes just things fall into place. You know, we've asked for the railroad crossing arms to be there for, the last board, and it was promised and it was promised and it was promised and finally came to fruition. I was interested because I saw that in putting that in, they tore up our sidewalk on the east side of the road. And I was interested to see if they were going to fix it. And they have, and they fixed it nice. They did a nice job. So
All
that's,
looks good down there.
that's,
everything they
yeah,
did.
that's important. They have asked that our railroad sign was too close. It was obscuring the view of the red light. So they asked that we move that. They actually took it out of the ground for us so that we would be able to move it. I think what we want to do is there is a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit sign as you come in from the south, and then there's another one before you get to the railroad track. That might be a little bit overkill. So what we'd like to do is take the railroad sign off its thing and move it down and take the speed limit sign down. We already have one that says 20 mile an hour, and I don't think it's uh, I think people know the speed limit in town is 20. So, that'll get the railroad sign far enough away that it won't obscure their light.
Heard you talking about it.
Yeah.
Some of the train.
It's the third one.
The last thing they were gonna do is when they put the arms up, then they would station somebody there for like so many days to just watch when trains come through and make sure it's not messing up. So that's good. It is an improvement to our town, I believe. And our CCMG for the 2026 paving season is closed out now, and we'll begin preparations for 2027, which will be our fifth and last year of the paving. But again, I'm pleased with some of the efforts in the town. I think our police department is new and alive again, and moving forward. You know, you've made a lot of effort to 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 get the things we need. Um, it's going to be nice not to have a hand-me-down police car.
Yeah.
You know, because you didn't know what color we are going to get. You know, what color is Summitville's? Maybe they'll give us a car. And you know, we've been operating with the black Ford that has the transmission slipping. And, you know, at some point that's going to go. You know how Fords are. They quit all the time anyway.
Sure, he had something to say.
At the community pride, meeting, I didn't know if we needed to bring it to the town or not. I, looked into getting two of the big, steel posts that you put at the end of the walking path, so no cars can drive onto that path.
Like a alert.
Yeah, is that something that
And-
town would be okay with? If I'm trying to get them donated,
Yeah.
to get them put in.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad idea, as long as it's out of the way of the mower.
Yeah.
But you just want to, got it, I mean, and I would think what most likely is gonna go on there is gonna be a golf cart, somebody on a golf cart. Instead of
Just thinking
getting
the
that,
same thing.
Yeah.
walking, but
Yeah. I, if that, the town, just to put them right at the end.
yeah,
Oh, that-
we had, the town and the Pride Committee have always had a good working relationship.
Yeah,
But as I've said before, the Pride Committee owns one thing in the town. The Pride Committee owns one thing in the town. All other things need to be approved.
yeah,
So they own the historic building, and hopefully we're going to get some things done with it. But they don't own the park, so the things that they would like to do need to be approved by the town. But again, we've had a good working relationship. That's not a bad idea. I think it's a good idea. Because it's sooner or later, he's gonna get a call that somebody got round on the back and they got stuck. And they got their car there and they tore up 100 feet of the walkway. And then we're not gonna be happy. So if that'll prevent that, then that's great.
Did I understand Red Gold's gonna donate it?
They've got
When you
one,
talk with them, when you talk with them, but you had just taken, exception.
I think we bet, we like zero though.
get donated.
The last thing is if no one else has anything, last thing is the town funds and the claims and the water and wastewater claims. I make a motion and we approve 8-1 through 8-20 for a total of $22,377.40. And water and wastewater claims 8-1 through 8-17 for a total of $17,178.83.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yeah. And I will make a motion that we adjourn the meeting at 7:48.
I can copy of that.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
I don't think we have it. It'll be black and white. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Put up some kind of. Historic.
But, 2 inches.